Hi everyone, I'm Hammi. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be closing up my budget for the month of April. And I've been a little bit delayed in making this video, and to be very honest, I actually forgot the expenses that I had in the month of April, but I do have a budget closeout written down in my real life budget notebook. I am going to be looking at it to make this video, but other times when I used to make this video a little bit earlier, I would remember the things that I'd spent on and it would be fresh in my memory. But now I have forgotten a few. Still, then, whatever I've written and I'll talk about that. I'll just show you. This is my real life budget notebook, and I'll be going through this. I'm hiding a few things because I'll be talking about that. If I show it here, then there's no point in making this video. If you are new to my channel, I just want to share again that I started this year with the intention of budgeting under 60,000 each month. January and February, I was able to do that. But for the month of March, I was over budget by 23,082 rupees. So, when I did my goals update for the first quarter, I did talk about increasing the budget amount for the rest of the year. But for the month of April, I gave myself another chance to see if I could still budget under 60,000 and to know if I was able to do that or not. Let's get into the video. So for April, I did budget with 60,000, and into my savings and investment category, I always put away 10% of the amount that I'm budgeting with, and 10% of 60,000 is 6,000 rupees, and I was able to put that. For my savings and investment, I have three categories. Savings is for my emergency fund. Into my emergency fund, I deposited 2,000 rupees. And then for the investment category, I have two SIPs where I do deposit 2,000 rupees each month, and then a PPF where I invest 2,000 rupees or 2,500 rupees each month. So that was what I put into it, and so there is no difference. And then for my fixed cost and utilities, there are a few categories where the amount is the same every month. So I've already written them down. That's insurance, siblings fund, EMI, LIC loan, room rent. So these amount remains the same every month, and so I deposit that much, and so there is no difference. Now coming to my subscription category, I budgeted 1,800 for the month, but I ended up spending 2,656 rupees. 2,656 minus 1,800 is I was over budget by 856 rupees. So what happened was I am subscribed to the 199 plan for Netflix. But on the 25th of April, 599 rupees was automatically deducted from my account. I need to call the Netflix help center and then figure this thing out. And then for my ration, I budgeted 3,000 and I did spend 3,000 on my ration as well, so there's no difference. And then for petrol, the budget was 3,500, but I ended up using only 2,850 rupees. For my petrol category, what I've noticed is I always budget 3,500 for the month, but I don't actually use 3,500. It's always below 3,500, but I don't know why I cannot bring myself to budgeting, less than 3,500. So every time I do a budget closeout, I always think next month I'll put a little bit lesser than 3,500. But when I actually do the budget for the next month, there is a fear in the back of my mind. It's like, who knows, maybe I'll be needing 3,500, and so I end up putting 3,500 into the budget again. 2,850 minus 3,500 is 650, the difference. For food and groceries, I budgeted 5,000, and surprisingly, I spent exactly 5,000 rupees on it. There was not even 1 rupee here and there. There's no difference as well here. And then for clothes, I budgeted 2,500 and I ended up spending 2,500 here as well. So there's no difference here. Coming to my sinking funds. For my sinking funds, I allocate 5% of the amount that I budget with. So the 5% is 3,000 rupees. This was what I had budgeted. But the actual amount that I put into my sinking fund in April was 6,080 rupees. So the difference is 3,080 rupees. And this was because I had to put in a new battery, and the new battery cost 3,500 rupees. And for my guilt-free spending, I did allocate 12,625 into my guilt-free spending. I spent 27,295 rupees. in my guilt-free spending. And I was over budget in the month of March as well, but there were things that was happening in the month of March. I was traveling and I spent money on a few things that were my responsibility. But for the month of April, I spent a lot of money on eating out and I spent a lot of money on shopping. Going for shopping is not a bad thing, do not get me wrong here, but the actual thing was I was impulse shopping. I was over budget by 14,670 rupees. Total budget is 60,000 rupees. Actual spending, when we do the math, is 77,956 rupees, which means I was over budget by 17,956. The only thing that is a little bit good about the month of April is that for the month of March, I budgeted with 65,000 rupees and I was over budget by 23,082. For April, I budgeted with 60,000. I was over budget by 70,956. So yes, I don't think that budgeting within 60,000 is going to actually help me. I need to take control of my impulse spending. This is something that I do mostly on days when I don't feel good, or I'm too tired, or I'm too drained. Those are the days where I spend a lot. I need to be conscious about that. Now, for my sinking funds, car maintenance started with 40 to 70 and then total budget was 50 to 70, but I spent 7,430 rupees. This is for both the servicing and the battery that I bought. So the amount that I was over budget is 2160 rupees. For health and medical, I started a month with zero and then I allocated 500 rupees into it. So the budget was 500, but I ended up spending 1420. And this was because I went for an eye consultation and I did buy some medicines and some eye drops. So the amount that I was over budget with is 920 rupees. Pets, I started with 1312, allocated 1000, total budget 2312. I spent 1070 and so the remaining balance is 1242. Vacation, I carried over 5,000 rupees, allocated 500 and the total budget is 5,500. Didn't spend anything, so the end balance is 5,500. This was how my month of April went. And also I want to bring back the update that I used to do every month whenever I did a closeout last year. There was updating on my savings balance and my PPF deposit. For my emergency fund, the goal is to deposit 24,000 this year. And up to the month of April, I've been able to deposit 8,000 into it. And the amount that's left to reach 24,000 is 16,000 rupees. And for my PPF deposit for the year 2024-2025, the financial year starts from April. So this year's first deposit was 2,000 rupees, and the maximum amount that one can deposit into PPF is 1,50,000. If I could max out PPF every year, that would be such a good investment. The return is guaranteed, and then you also earn compound interest on it. So this is my budget closeout for the month of April. And if you're still here watching, do press the like button, and also if you like my content, do consider subscribing. I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, take care and bye bye.